Look at that. Chocolate chip banana muffins. Come on, y'all. Let's go bake this. Hey, everybody. I hope you are all having a wonderful day so far. Today, we are going to make my chocolate chip banana muffins. The last time I put these together, my son took them to work and they went through like 18 of them in a day. So we're going to start by putting our flour, 470 grams, in a bowl. To that, we are going to add 7 grams of baking soda, 4 grams of baking powder, 2.6 grams of ground cinnamon, 1 gram of nutmeg, and that's it. You're going to take a whisk and you're just going to whisk this together. Now, I know some of those grams are so small that your big scale is not going to pick them up. So this is what I do. I have this big guy for doing most of my weighing on, but then I have this little one. You open it up and it gets your grams and stuff in much smaller amounts, so you can weigh everything. It just makes it easier when you want to cut a recipe in half or when you want to double it, because 1 cup of flour can be measured differently by a bunch of people, where a gram is always a gram. Okay, so we've just whisked that together. Now you notice I didn't add any salt to this, and you'll see why shortly. So we're going to set that bowl aside, and we're going to bring another bowl over here. To this, we are going to add our 3 eggs. You want 3 large eggs for this. And it's the only thing that I don't have weighed out in grams for everybody. Now, this used to be my grandma's recipe, but I've twerked it and twerked it. Twerking. I've tweaked it a little bit so that it would be better, that it would have more flavor, add a little bit of umami to it. She also did it as a loaf, but I like it better as muffins because a loaf can dry out if you leave it cut too long, where everybody can just grab an individual muffin and go. Okay, so we've slightly beaten our eggs. To that, we are going to add, sorry, my glasses are falling off on me today, 215 grams of vegetable oil. You could use coconut oil too if you're trying to be healthier. You just want to get this incorporated so it's cohesive, that you're not seeing separation of the egg. And oil, you want it mixed well before you start adding in the sugar. So what we're going to do first is put in our 200 grams of just plain old sugar. Give that a whirl together. And then I'm going to add my brown sugar. And for that, it's 160 grams. And now this is dark brown sugar. You could use light brown sugar too. I like to use white and brown sugar. I'm going to switch over. Is that going to stay? It will. Okay. I'm going to switch over to my spatula now, because you want to make sure there's no big lumps of brown sugar in this. So you need to be able to push down, squish it all out. Make sure this is nice and done before you add your next ingredient. I forgot to say that I already started my oven. It is preheating at 350 Fahrenheit, which is 175 Celsius. Okay, I'm not seeing any lumps. To this, we are going to add, and now this is where I didn't put salt in, because instead I'm going to add 10 grams of soy sauce. Now, the reason I do this, 1, it still gives you the salt content you want. 2, it adds an umami punch to your muffins. And 3, it'll add a slight caramel flavor to them. I know it sounds strange, but it works in banana muffins. You can do it in brownies, anything that's got chocolate. We're also going to add 9 grams of vanilla paste, 575 grams of smushed ripe bananas. Now you want these to be ripe because you want them to be nice and sweet. Okay, so we're going to mix this together, and then we're going to add our other stuff to it. Okay, we're going to add 30 grams of water, And now we're going to add in our flour mixture. Now, if you're cooking this at high altitude, you're going to want to add 60 grams more flour than the original recipe calls for. You want to gently mix this together. You don't want to overmix it because you don't want to activate the gluten too much. The thing with family recipes that's important to remember is just because Nona, Nanny, Mima, or your granny cooked it a specific way doesn't mean you have to do the same thing. Recipes can evolve as people evolve. Maybe there's things that you have access to that your grandma didn't have access to, or your mom or whoever's recipe was handed down to you that you're altering. Maybe there's new things you've discovered that, like, my nan never would have added soy sauce, but I learned from studying that soy sauce adds a nice umami to your muffins. So it's just a matter of making the family recipes yours, and eventually you'll pass them down to your children and their children, and they'll learn new skills, and they'll probably be happy to cook with your recipe, but yet they'll still make it theirs. Now we're getting close to having this mixed. We don't want to mix it too hard. We don't want to activate all that gluten because we want these to be nice and fluffy. So you want to mix it to where there's just no lumps of dry flour. That's why I do it by hand. If I did it in a mixer, I'd be worried about overmixing it. There we go. Now, for me, I would like to add nuts to this, like some toasted pecans or some walnuts. But my guys are not huge fans of nuts. So instead of nuts, I'm going to add 300 grams of chocolate chips for them. They love these with chocolate chips instead of the nuts. They have a very, very sweet tooth. So we're just going to mix these in, and then we're going to start dividing it up and scooping it into our cups. Everything is mixed really good, so now we're going to start putting it in our little muffin containers. I like to use the scoop. This way I know they're relatively even and they will cook around the same time. I'll go through and I'll add one scoop and then go back through and level it off with a second scoop of the mixture. Now, if my content is something you're enjoying, please subscribe, follow, hit the little bell down at the bottom and it'll let you know anytime I've uploaded a new video. Comment and let me know, what is your favorite muffin? Have you updated or changed any of your family recipes to suit your palate? And if so, what recipes have you updated? How did you alter and change them? Okay, you can see I didn't have enough to fill the second tray, so what I did was put them all on the outside so they'll bake more evenly. Now these are going to go in the oven at 350 Fahrenheit, 175 Celsius for 25 minutes. I'm going to put them in, bake them for 10 minutes, rotate them, and finish the last 15 minutes. And once they're done, I'll be back to show you these delicious little treats. Okay, this last tray is done and out of the oven. They look delicious. You want to carefully remove them from the muffin tin because this is hot, so if they stay in it, they're going to continue to bake. We want to put them on a cooling rack to cool. And once they are, we can start enjoying them. Now, don't get me wrong, warm with a little bit of butter, chef's kiss. Now, I'm not sure how long these would actually last, probably a week, but in my house, they never last longer than a couple days. My husband likes to take baked goods to work to share with his coworkers. My son likes to take them to work to share with his coworkers, and I love to share with my friends. Okay, y'all, it's that time. Let's get Tommy in here so he can try one of these muffins.
Hey, everybody.
Do you like his new shirt?
This smells so delicious. I could smell it as soon as I walked in the house when I got home from work. I knew something was up. I was so excited. Oh my goodness. The chocolate and that banana just goes so well together. It's amazing.
Well,
I
y'all,
love it.
he clearly loves them. He'll probably take some to work to share. I know we got to go drop some off to my son in a couple minutes. I hope you all have a blessed and wonderful day. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Good night, y'all.